for joining us on News from the State, where we bring you reports on key developments across Nigeria's 36 states. We begin in Rivers State, where more than 100,000 registered voters are set to elect new representatives in the forthcoming Rivers State House of Assembly by-elections. With the February 21, 2026 polls fast approaching, political parties and candidates are gearing up to formally kick off their campaigns. Our correspondent, Uche Okoro, reports.
In less than 1 month, voters will go to the polls in 242 polling units to fill 2 vacant seats in the Rivers State House of Assembly in Ahoda East Constituency 2 and Kana Constituency 2. Ahead of the exercise, the Independent National Electoral Commission is intensifying engagements with stakeholders from the state level down to the affected constituencies to ensure a credible process. Although such consultations are routine in the build-up to elections, they are considered especially critical for this poll coming amid a tense political atmosphere.
Your contributions, your concerns, your observations, and constructive engagement have enriched our discussions, and this will greatly assist us in strengthening the electoral process and preparations for the by-elections of 21st February 2026. We encourage you all to trust the process, as you have demonstrated a commitment to success in our elections, which is a collective responsibility.
Looking at those invited for this meeting, they are not all here because some just believe that nothing good will come out of it. Even the voter registration, people still have these beliefs. But I want to believe that by the end of this election, this by-election, these stories will change and everybody will see you in a different light and say that this new INEC is really INEC.
Given the high stakes, INEC has also convened a meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security to ensure a violence-free poll. The outcome of the exercise is expected to see the 10th Rivers State House of Assembly fully constituted with elected representatives for the first time in almost 3 years. However, this may not immediately translate to full legislative activity, as 3 lawmakers loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara have continued to boycott sittings of the House. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
And our correspondent, Uche Okoro, joins me. Uche, thank you for joining us at this time. It's less than a month to the by-elections. Let's start with how significant are these elections for the political balance of the Rivers State House of Assembly, given the long-time vacancies?
Absolutely, very, very crucial, because you know that in the kind of democracy we practice here, we have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Now, in the legislature constitutes persons who have been elected to represent the interests of the various divisions of various communities in Rivers State. Now, for almost 3 years, you have 2 constituencies who have not been represented in the House of Assembly. Their voices, in a way, their voices have not been heard. Others have been deciding their fate. Matters that concern them have not been brought to the front burner because their representatives have not been, the seats of their representatives have been vacant. So, looking at it from the point of democracy or democratic governance, I would say that this is a very good development for those communities who, prior to this time, have had their voices shot in the legislature. So this is a good one for them. Perhaps issues concerning development and infrastructure development and human capacity development will begin to receive a breath of fresh air going forward following the outcome of the poll.
Talk to us if there are any concerns that have been raised by INEC considering the peculiarity of Rivers State ahead of the elections.
Simple. The concern coming from INEC is for everybody to cooperate with the commission. The commission cannot do this alone. They have continued to meet. They've had meetings in Ahoda West, Ahoda East rather. They've had meetings in Kana constituency too to try to get everybody on board. Of course, you know that this election is coming at a time when the state is very heavily politically charged. The question that people are beginning to ask is, we know that the assembly, even though there have been reports of political reconciliation, the assembly is still divided. The other three lawmakers are still not attending the sitting. So people are the commission is quite aware of the political atmosphere. They are saying that we as an umpire, we are neutral. We are not here to tilt towards any side, and so give us your full support, and we will deliver a credible election that everyone in Rivers State can be very proud of.
I mean, the concern really is, even after this election, where the House is now fully, constituted, how the House will return to its full legislative activities. There is a boycott going on at the moment. Am I right?
Absolutely. We have three lawmakers who I expected that, well, not I, every resident of Rivers State ordinarily expected that after the call off of the state of emergency reconciliation, I know people were expected that the House was going to return to status quo pre the crisis. That means the House was expected to reabsorb those other members whose seats they had declared vacant, the other members who had pledged their loyalty to the governor. But unfortunately, we did not see that materialize, and then we are here, the crisis has reignited. So maybe after this election, we might see things change in the House Assembly. Bear in mind that Rivers State Assembly is a 32-seat assembly. Currently, we have it constituted by 27, while we have 3 lawmakers who are boycotting, and then one lawmaker who died, and then Edison Eye who resigned. So if everybody comes together, we would, after the election, we expect to no longer be hearing 27 lawmakers. Maybe we'll begin to have 29 lawmakers. While we still have those 3, will they continue to boycott or not? Or will they come together and give the House its full legislative power of 32?
We look forward to a peaceful commencement of campaigns even before the election. That's a fine place to leave it. That's our correspondent in Rivers State, Uche Okoro, live for us. Thank you for joining us.